Why do you need to practice discernment? Because everything in the dream is an illusion, and it's always trying to trick you. Have you ever been driving like in a mist, and you see the road and it just seems like you're gonna go off into the clouds? You can't see the end of the road. Everything is an illusion around you. This is, and when you have to just keep staying in the moment until you get to that, you know that there is a road ahead and you keep driving. This is how everything is an illusion here. What you're seeing is not the real. Just like you're looking out and you're seeing that, where does the road ends? You know what I'm saying? And everything just look foggy because you're seeing through illusion. And when you awake yourself, you get to see the real and see that you've been seeing only the illusion. You have not seen the real. So everyone is blind in this world because their eyes has not been opened. They are still sleeping and they're not awake. I had taken some time away from the hustle and bustle of this world, and I kind of shield myself away, so I did not know a lot of things that was going on. So when I came back on social media and I hear everyone talking about being woke and this woke culture, and I'm wondering what does it mean? But everyone is saying this woke, I am woke, I am woke. But no one has awakened. You are all still sleeping. So I'm like, what are they saying that I am woke, I am woke? What does this mean? What does it mean when you're saying that I am woke and you're still living as the ego dream character, this God, this mindset? Because everyone is still thinking that God is the supreme self, God is the supreme truth, and they don't know that God is fake, God is false, God is an impersonator of the real. Everything about God is an illusion because God is a dream creation, a dream character, and only exists in this dream. God does not exist in the real. And everyone is getting this all confused because of what? You're exploring the world as God. You're exploring the world as the mind avatar. So this is the reason why you're thinking that God means that it is truth and it is balance. God does not want truth and God does not want balance. You have to know this, and you can only know this when you wake up, because you're inside of this dream and you're sleeping, and yet you think that you are awake. I hear everyone saying it, and especially on social media, this woke culture, and so many people are woke. And when I look around, I'm seeing them still sleeping. What does it mean that you're saying that you're woke? You're coming into some new ideas. That is great. But that does not mean that you are awake. You're moving into awareness. Yes, you're moving into more awareness. But you are not awake. You are still sleeping. To awake this self that is you, because you are thinking that you are this body and you are this mind avatar, this false self. You're thinking that the gods are real, and no, they are the dream characters. The real self is in prison, and they have impersonated the self. This is what they do. They are impersonators. So they are impersonating the self, and they are holding the real self in prison and impersonating the self. They are the dream characters, impersonators. Yeah. So one has to come into this truth and this realization that the first thing that you have to remember is that you are inside of a dream. There is nothing real up in this dream except for the self that is being imprisoned. And this is the reason why you have to practice discernment. You cannot trust anything in this dream beside your real self. And your real self is sleeping, and you The mind that you are existing as is dreaming, and you are looped in your own imagination and your memory. You have to get out of this imagination and your memory. This is what has been happening. So it's about time now that we come into this realization and know this truth. Why you must practice discernment. You know, you want to seek the truth. So, while what to do is really simple, what to do, doing it is where the challenge comes in. Because this process takes dedication, it takes a lot of time, and a keen sense of discernment to differentiate the real from the unreal. Because you're always being tested to see if you can detect the truth from the untruth. And you have just failed the test. What is the real from the unreal? Figuring out what the real is from the unreal is very tricky. How to differentiate the real self when you have the impersonators are tricking you. Very tricky situation when the opposing force is always trying to trick and deceive you. This is what the mind is always doing, always trying to trick and deceive you. So you always have to ask the question, who is this? When you encounter any being, who speaks whenever someone, if you're around you, all the ones who are hearing thoughts and you're hearing voices, you need to ask who speaks. Don't be afraid. Ask who speaks. And who are you that speaks? Where does this thought originate from? Where does this thought arise? Every time when a thought comes to you, you have to ask this question. From where does this thought arise? And you also need to ask, what lessons am I learning? Because we're all here into the duality to learn. So if you're not learning any lessons and you're thinking everything is real, you're never going to come to the truth. You have to be approaching everything with caution, with questions. You question everything, every aspect of everything you are asking question. It is simple what to do, but to do it is where the challenge lies. You have to question everything. You have to come into self-realization. You have to self-inquire. You have to return this ego mind back to its source. You have to come to the realization that this dream is not real. And you have to be practicing discernment. You have to be practicing the process of elimination so you can know what is you and what is not you. This body, is it you? No, it's not you. This mind avatar that you are exploring in, is it you? No, it's not you. This skin, this body, is it you? Everyone is talking about, oh, God created me. Oh, God, this one God created in his image. This is just a body. It's just a creation to explore this dream world. The self is never created. You projected yourself into this dream, and you are the creator. But the dream characters that arose from the mind, they're holding the self prisoner in this dream. And it's time for liberation from this dream now. Yeah. It's time for liberation from the dream. This is the book, Soul Seed. If anyone would like to get a copy of the book, it tells you the steps to your liberation, how to liberate yourself, what to do so you can exit this dream in a balanced self, how you can bring balance to the world.